Yes, goons, I am alive and well, and this is your official Monday Night Raw review for August 22nd, 2016. And Monday Night Raw tonight kicked off the third night, the final night at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Summerslam weekend has come to a close, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking me, JD, where's the Summerslam review? This is what happens when you're in Brooklyn and you're partying with fucking LeBar and Solomonster and fucking Sheamus was there, Noel Foley was there. It was just an unbelievable night, and I apologize for not getting the SummerSlam review up for you guys like I usually do immediately following the pay-per-view, but I will say this. Tuesday will be a huge day. Not only are you going to get a SmackDown Live review, not only are you going to get the WWE 2K17 Week 4 reveal for the roster, but you are going to get an official, full-blown SummerSlam review from yours truly. Do not worry about it. Obviously, news broke of certain stories regarding Sasha Banks and Brock Lesnar and Chris Jericho getting into a backstage altercation after that vicious beatdown to Randy Orton. We're going to go over all that, and I'll let you guys know exactly what I think about the Universal Championship and the entire card overall, the reactions to some of the matches, and just the overall event not living up to what SummerSlam should be in the WWE. We will go over all that. If you guys have been following me on Twitter, at JD from NY206, you guys know for a fact what I thought of the pay-per-view. I wanted to get a review up yesterday, but with the midst of the partying and just literally everything breaking down as soon as the event was over, I had no time. I had no privacy, no peace and quiet at the bar to do a review, so I figured I'd wait for you guys until I get back home, fully rested, clear my mind, and then we'll talk about SummerSlam. But obviously, Monday Night Raw tonight, the biggest thing going into Monday Night Raw was Finn Balor. And everybody complained when Finn Balor was the guy WWE ultimately chose to replace Roman Reigns as the face of the company. They did everything that they can in 4 weeks to make people believe that Finn Balor is the new guy in WWE. He beat a top-level guy in Roman Reigns on the first Monday Night Raw of the new era. Not only that, he went through guys like Sami Zayn and Rusev, and he went through Cesaro, all those types of guys, skyrocketing him to superstardom pretty much in one night. And then after that, they started to roll out the Demon King, and they started to make people aware of the Demon King. People were saying, you know what, Finn Balor's 35 fucking years old. And everybody was putting him down for his age. And people were putting down Finn Balor as a vanilla midget. He's too small. He sucks on the fucking microphone. Now we come to SummerSlam, and he had a fantastic fucking match with Seth Rollins to crown the first ever WWE Universal Champion. And I'm not going to mention anything about the title. I'm not going to mention what I think of the title and how it looks. For some reason, I knew it was going to be this way. For some reason, everybody, and I knew people were going to be disappointed with the title. I didn't know exactly how disappointed people were going to be in the look of the title, to the point where Seth Rollins actually took to Twitter and vocally put down the Barclays Center crowd, saying, don't let the looks of a title diminish what the two guys in the ring are actually fighting for, you know? And he was pretty much right in that assessment. But you cannot blame, you can't blame the fans for not being happy with what we've been given. I mean, every single fucking twist and turn we go into WWE, whether it's a pay-per-view or Monday Night Raw, there's always something that disappoints us. And this is what I state. This is what I state several fucking times. You people are, or at least some of you actually have fucking brains. Some of you are okay with mediocrity. That Universal Championship, that is the label of mediocrity for everybody. If you're okay with that championship belt, you are okay with mediocrity. And I'll go over it again when we talk about the SummerSlam review that I'm going to do tomorrow, okay? Ultimately, you guys know what happened. You guys know what the outcome was. Finn Balor won the Universal Championship. I can't stand saying the fucking name, you know? I was going to be okay with it if the title was going to be that title that was floating around on the internet that looked like the old school winged eagle belt, but a little bit more modernized. WWE did no such thing. But the Universal Championship was crowned. Obviously, you guys know that was Finn Balor. What we did not know coming out of that match after he hit the coup de grace on Seth Rollins is that he was legitimately hurt. Nobody knew that he was legitimately hurt. We come to today, and 1 hour before the show, Mick Foley tweets out that it's my unfortunate business to tell you guys that Finn Balor is going to have to relinquish the Universal Championship on Monday Night Raw. 4 weeks after building Finn Balor up as the face of the company, WWE no longer has their demon sitting atop the new era, which is sad. And some people are happy about this. I don't know why. I mean, I'm sitting here trying to figure out why people are okay with, number one, Finn Balor being injured. Number two, Finn Balor relinquishing the WWE Universal Championship. Now, I don't understand why people would be okay with that. That takes a mega star from Monday Night Raw for 6 months. You're okay with that? You're okay with Monday Night Raw being void of a top-tier talent? Okay. So I know where your priorities lie when watching Monday Night Raw. You don't give a shit. You don't give a shit. For some of you people to be okay with Finn Balor being injured, it's fucking mind-numbing to me. I just don't get how stupid people can be. I really don't. I understand he's not going to be liked by everybody, but he was the one man, even though his age at 35, which is another thing I'll get into, Finn Balor, at his age, he was still the face of the new era. This is the new era. The way they treated Finn Balor was pretty much a parade signaling the new era. Now, Finn Balor's 35 years old. What some of you goons don't understand is that being 35 years old and wrestling around the world and then coming into WWE and being labeled as the face of NXT, holding that championship for fucking 270 some odd days, right? He was the man down there. He didn't need to be in NXT. He could have been brought up to the fucking main roster after 6 months being down in NXT. They kept him down there because they knew what they wanted to do with that brand as a whole, and he was NXT. They brought him up, and they made him the new era. At 35 years old, if you were not going to strike now with what Finn Balor did down in NXT, you were not going to do it at all. He developed himself into one of the most unbelievable talents down in NXT, and if you were not going to give this guy a chance to run with it and be the face that you need in this company, it was never going to fucking happen. Oh, but JD, he's 35 years old, man. What the fuck does age have to do with anything, bro? If age had anything to do with fucking being a WWE superstar, The Undertaker would be fucking dead right now, by now. He would be fucking in the grave himself. The fuck you talking about? Age. Who gives a fuck about age? Undertaker's 51 years old, 52 years old, and still can go out there and beast. Give me a fucking break. 35 years old for Finn Balor. Half of the shit that fucking comes at me on Twitter is completely asinine garbage. You're okay with Finn Balor being off Monday Night Raw? Okay. So you get the show that you got tonight, and you got that main event, which we'll talk about. Obviously, everybody is fucking scared right now that this is going to open up the door for WWE to slide Roman Reigns right on into the main event picture and make Roman Reigns the guy once again on Monday Night Raw. But I don't think they're going to go that way. I don't think they're going to go that route. To be honest with you, I don't think Roman Reigns is going to be in the championship picture or have at least a taste of championship gold for another year. That's just my honest opinion. I think there's people on the roster right now that are surpassing Roman Reigns by the week. By the week. I don't think Roman Reigns is going to go anywhere. So everybody that's worried about Roman Reigns, I'm here to tell you I am pretty confident. Now, I mean, I could be fucking sitting here next week and I could be eating my words and fucking cursing up a storm, bashing this show and this company to high heaven. But I feel pretty confident that WWE is not going to give Roman Reigns that opportunity again. Over Seth Rollins, I don't think so. I think Kevin Owens at this point right now on Monday Night Raw is even more deserving than Roman Reigns. Rusev is more deserving than Roman Reigns. I actually lobbied for Sami Zayn to be the fucking guy to win the Universal Championship. I think that would have been fantastic. But Finn Balor releases, or relinquishes, I should say, the Universal Championship. No longer the Universal Champion, out 6 months, and it all had to do with that fucking power bomb on the outside when Seth Rollins threw him into the fucking barricade. Don't understand, and I mentioned this on Twitter, I love Seth Rollins. I don't think he's ever gone in the ring and wanted to intentionally hurt anybody. Shit fucking happens, okay? Balor might have landed wrong, but it's not Rollins' fault. It's just the nature of the beast. You get in there and you fight a competitive sport and you're fucking engaging in a competitive activity such as wrestling in the WWE in a high-profile match at the second biggest pay-per-view of the year in a championship fucking match. Shit's gonna happen. Adrenaline's running high. Mistakes will be made. I don't blame anything on Seth Rollins at all. I'm just saying that it's not a coincidence that the fucking power bombs that he does, the buckle bombs, the fucking power bombs in the barricade, it's injuring guys left and right. It took out Sting, now it takes out Finn Balor. I say, hold off on the fucking power bombs for a little bit. We don't need any more WWE superstars getting injured. That's all I'm going to say about that. But Balor relinquishes the title. He got a huge standing ovation. Brooklyn showered him with love. He's going to be back. He's going to be better than ever. No doubt in my mind, Finn Balor is going to pick up right where he left off when he comes back. I am not concerned about that. The main thing that I'm concerned with is that Finn Balor is going to be off television for 6 months. He's going to be off Raw for 6 months. I don't like that at all. But shit happens. What are you going to do? You can't sit here and fucking cry about it. We can't sit here and bitch and complain about it. This is wrestling. People go in there, they fucking fight competitively, and people get hurt. It's just the nature of the beast. So Finn Balor's out for 6 months. So Finn Balor's walking up to the fucking ramp. Seth Rollins comes out, his music hits, and I can't help but laugh when Seth Rollins comes out, and you just see that fucking face with the beard, and him just fucking laughing at Finn Balor, man. It was absolutely fantastic when Seth Rollins looked over and continued to walk by Finn Balor. He just laughed, and he's like, you know what? The unfortunate incident happened last night. It is what it is. Let's have a celebration. Now we can really crown the true Universal Champion. And I said before the show even started, you know what? I think Sami Zayn would be a great face to take Finn Balor's spot on Monday Night Raw as the face of this company, as the Universal Champion. And lo and behold, he comes out. The first thing people do when they heard Sami Zayn's music is they went fucking crazy. And at that moment, I knew people were ready to crown a new champion tonight. But what does WWE do? They let us down again. People are telling me, JD, it's in Houston. Houston's a decent city. I understand that. But when you had Kevin Owens come out, and you had Chris Jericho come out, and you had fucking Cass and Enzo come out, and you had Roman Reigns come out, it's like, okay, what the fuck is going on? How are we going to determine a new fucking champion? Everybody wanted a championship match tonight. Everybody wanted a new champion tonight. In fact, I think WWE would probably had a much better show than they put on tonight if there was a Universal Champion crowned to pretty much, get the show on the road here. We got to wait another fucking week for a championship match in Houston, a city that's not going to be as hot as Brooklyn. I don't necessarily agree with that. The first thing that I seen was how fucking rabid people were for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. A championship match needed to happen tonight. A new champion needed to be crowned tonight. But then you get to think, you know what? I did mention that WWE needs to write their shows better, and they need to go into the next week with a fucking cliffhanger. And this is what they did. Instead of crowning the champion in a hot city, which I thought immediately was the right decision, because you don't broadcast shows and shows like Raw in cities like New York all the fucking time. We're treated to fucking real professional wrestling fans in crowds like that. New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Miami, all those big cities, Las Vegas, Detroit. I wanted it to happen tonight, but then I think back to what I was saying. WWE needs to write their shows better. Cliffhangers. Give me a reason to watch next week. That's what they did. So everything that happened tonight was going to have a direct effect on what we've seen next week. Decent storytelling. It gets you to watch. It gets you invested in next week. Now we're all anticipating a new champion crowned next week. I can't really fault them for that. We all wanted that initial champion to be crowned. Our first instinct with this hot fucking crowd in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Let's do it tonight. It's not going to be any better than this crowd tonight right now. They gave you a reason to watch next week. You can't fault them for that. So it was a tournament, or I'm going to use it loosely, tournament, because Vince McMahon doesn't like tournaments. Quote-unquote tournament. There was going to be matches that wrestlers were going to compete in all night, and the winners of those matches would be placed in a fatal four-way match next week, live on Raw from Houston. First match of the night, absolutely great match, and I say this every fucking week about Sami Zayn. I can watch Sami Zayn wrestle every week and not get bored. He is fucking amazing, and I hope one of these days, Vince McMahon and Triple H and everybody in creative wakes up and sees what they got in Sami Zayn. Look at the reaction he got tonight. People were hot for Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn's time could have been tonight, and it would have went off like a Daniel Bryan-esque moment if they wanted to have that happen tonight for Zayn. They didn't do it. He gave us a great fucking match with Seth Rollins. I love the way these two guys are in the ring. There was one moment in this match where Sami Zayn jumped off the middle rope and jumped backwards over Seth Rollins, like a backwards monkey flip. And he landed on his fucking ankle. And a lot of people were telling me, it looks like he might have not rolled his ankle, but he was selling it really well as if he really did. My initial thought was like, I can't take another fucking injury. I can't take another injury. We already had Finn Balor come out in a fucking arm sling. I don't need Sami Zayn rolling his fucking ankle, breaking his ankle, going to be out for fucking 5-6 months. I didn't want that to happen. So my initial reaction when I seen Sami Zayn hit the fucking ground and writhing in pain and the referee was going over, all I was waiting was for this. I was waiting for the fucking X symbol. And Sami Zayn, I don't know whether he was really hurt or not. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow. Either that, he was hurt, or he's the greatest fucking actor that ever lived, and he deserves an Academy Award. I don't fucking know, man. Sami Zayn makes you believe. Sami Zayn tells a great story in the fucking ring, and that's exactly what he did tonight. Hopefully he is okay and not injured. The story was built around Sami Zayn's ankle. One miscue. And Sami Zayn, again, heart and soul. Like I've been saying in my 2K16 King of the Ring. We'll be doing that again this week as well. The finals, Styles versus Zayn. The heart and soul of Sami Zayn. He's going to show you that he's going to fight. He's never going to give up. And that you got to have to fucking literally kill this guy for him to not continue to come at you. And that's exactly the story that was told in that ring tonight. Rollins overcame the heart and soul of Sami Zayn. He moves on. Obviously, Seth Rollins, to me, is going to be that guy to win the Universal Championship. It looks like no matter how many times they wanted to go around Rollins and not give him the championship because that would be the most blatant, creative decision there. Okay, we'll just give it back to Rollins. He came back 3 months early from injury, got himself right back to where he needs to be. He didn't lose the title, right? We had to take the title off of him. He was stripped. The easiest thing to do would have been to give the title back to Seth Rollins, but it seems like WWE's been going around Seth Rollins and giving the title to everybody but Seth Rollins. It's like fucking karma, Maybe the title is destined to be on Seth Rollins. He gave it to everybody else, and everybody either fucking lost it, wasn't good enough, got injured. This is going to be an ample opportunity for WWE to give it right back to Seth Rollins. Honestly, the only other choice to me besides Seth Rollins would be Kevin Owens. And that's the next match that we've seen, Kevin Owens versus Neville. I was happy about this match because everybody's been crying wolf about Sami Zayn not being on TV, not having an important role. Neville's too good. He's too talented not to be showcased on Monday Night Raw. I was pleasantly pleased with the fact that Neville got to showcase what he can do in a big match situation against a great opponent who he's very familiar with in New York City with a hot crowd. Obviously, Neville was not going to win on this night, and Kevin Owens did advance to the Fatal 4-Way, so that makes 2. We got Rollins and Owens in the Fatal 4-Way. It's either Rollins or Owens, in my honest opinion. If WWE wants to swerve us all and give us something completely different instead of the blatant choice of Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens is my man. We'll talk about the other two guys in a little bit, about the Fatal 4-Way, and, the field of 4 is now complete. I'm not really too pleased with it. I have some negative thoughts about who else was placed in that Fatal 4-Way, but tonight, Kevin Owens beat Adrian Neville, and I like that Neville lost this match, not by pop-up powerbomb. It was by a torture rack neck breaker. Nice. You don't need to win with your finishing move all the time. Those little details I enjoy. Pop-up powerbomb is one of those moves. It's his finisher. It's supposed to finish. Show me that Kevin Owens can win without executing a pop-up powerbomb, or show me Sami Zayn, can win with a Blue Thunder Bomb, which is not his finishing move. Something along those lines. I appreciate that as a wrestling fan, where when wrestlers do not win all the time with their finishing move, they have other moves that they pull out that can get the job done. Tonight, Kevin Owens, torture rack neckbreaker, beats Neville in a great match. Monday Night Raw, the first hour started off very, very good. We got a great match with Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens and Neville did their thing. We got the relinquishment of the Universal Championship handed over to Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley. The title is now vacated. And that was a very, very newsworthy first hour of Monday Night Raw. So we move on to something that I feel like I'm getting very tired of. And I'm not getting tired of the New Day. I'm not. I love the New Day. I love Xavier Woods. I love Big E and Kofi. And they've been amazing in their 365-day run as tag team champions. I just feel that every team that goes up against the New Day kind of fizzles out. It's not as important as it should be. It doesn't feel important. And maybe because that's, because WWE really didn't build up Anderson and Gallows all too well in the first couple of months they were in the company. They're starting to slowly do that. And I want to see Anderson and Gallows really be a legit fucking team. I want people to be scared of the club. I want them to be scared of Anderson and Gallows. I really do. And I just hope that come next pay-per-view, which is Clash of Champions, which is going to be a WWE Raw brand exclusive pay-per-view. I said this last night, and I'm going to say it again when I do the review tomorrow for SummerSlam. I'm glad that the club did not win at SummerSlam. It would have been too obvious, and WWE, again, prolonging things, and I think they're holding the title victory until Clash of the Champions. They did that with Apollo Crews and The Miz as well. I didn't expect Apollo Crews to win the Intercontinental Championship. I think WWE is setting themselves up for title changes, but they didn't want to do it on a SummerSlam pay-per-view, which really didn't have, all that much build going into it. So they didn't want to culminate these feuds and have a title change then. They're waiting to build it up a little bit more. You got 4 weeks to go for these pay-per-views, and I think the title changes are going to happen at Clash for Champions and Backlash, respectively, for the Intercontinental Championship and the Tag Team Championship. Tonight, Carl Anderson versus Big E. Big E wins. He returns to the ring from ring postitis. Big ending to Carl Anderson. Seems like every time you see either Gallows or Anderson in a match, it's always Anderson taking the pinfall. Kind of gets a little numbing, and it's a little fucking frustrating because Carl Anderson is a great fucking talent. I just don't understand why he's got to continue taking pins in every situation. Titus O'Neil comes out to chat with everybody in Brooklyn. Botches fucking 3 times in less than 30 seconds. I don't know whether he was taking tips from Eva Marie and Dana Brooke, or he's just that fucking bad. I don't know. But nobody gave a fuck about this segment. This was a complete waste of fucking time. I would have rather seen this segment completely gone from the script, and I would have gave another fucking 5 minutes, 10 minutes to Neville and Owens, to be quite honest with you. This was a complete waste of fucking time. Nobody gives a shit about a feud between Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. WWE got it right the last couple of weeks when they put the primetime players back together. Don't know why they didn't go ahead with that. I'd rather see those guys together instead of fighting one another. Nobody gave a shit about this segment at all. Titus O'Neil beats up Bob Backlund, and he continues to say Darren Young was never great again. He doesn't understand make Darren Young great again. He was never great to begin with. And then he just continues to fucking beat down on Bob Backlund. He gives the Clash of the Titus to Darren Young. All in all, it was a fucking worthless segment that did nothing. And these are the matches that you're going to get for a brand-exclusive pay-per-view. This is the one thing that I was concerned about with the draft. And right now, I'm in the middle with this whole brand split, brand extension, this draft, these brand-exclusive pay-per-views. We're going to get decent matches at these pay-per-views, but it's not going to be, a 3-hour show full of fucking great matches. You're going to get matches like Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, and that's exactly what they're building to. These guys will be fighting at Clash of the Champions, which to me, even by that name alone, doesn't make any fucking sense. Clash of the Champions should be exclusively champions on that pay-per-view. You got rid of Night of Champions for Clash of Champions. It's a Night of fucking Champions. Whether you want to look at it differently or not, they changed the name. It's the same fucking concept. Clash of Champions. Titus O'Neil versus Darren Young at Clash of Champions. Nobody gives a flying fuck. If you ask me, Clash of Champions should have been a co-branded pay-per-view with both Raw and SmackDown, with all the fucking titles from both brands being defended. That's just the way I would have did it, but fuck me. What the fuck do I know? They continued to show video on Lesnar versus Orton. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the planned ending that was last night at SummerSlam. What you guys seen last night was indeed the script. Lesnar didn't go off script. Lesnar didn't fucking brutalize Randy Orton because he wanted to, even though he could at any given fucking moment. Shane McMahon came out. Obviously, he was F5'd. And there was an altercation with Chris Jericho and Brock Lesnar, which we'll discuss as well. Jericho thought everything was actually legit to close SummerSlam. And that resulted in Lesnar and Jericho getting into a fucking heated argument that was broken up by Vince McMahon. We'll talk about that during the SummerSlam review tomorrow. Make sure you guys tune into that. Hopefully, I will get that up by early afternoon, lunchtime for you guys, okay? So make sure you guys look forward to that. Rusev versus Big Cass. I did not understand this at all. Now, I love me some Enzo and Cass. I really do. They are my favorite tag team in the WWE right now on the main roster. I'm not going to include NXT. My favorite tag team right now, obviously, from all brands, is probably the Revival. I think they're fucking fantastic. You know, honorable mention to Ciampa and Gargano as well for their match. They had the match of the weekend, easily. Gargano and Choppa versus the Revival had the best match of the weekend. Not only of that evening, but of the weekend. Unbelievable fucking match. That's how you get tag team wrestling done, boys. That's how you get fucking tag team wrestling done. You're not going to see a better tag team title match, tag team match, period, all year in WWE. Go back and watch that match. Absolutely fucking brilliant. Rusev and Big Cass. I don't understand what the infatuation is with Big Cass. I really don't. You know, I think Big Cass and Enzo need to do what they got to do as a tag team. I don't mind Big Cass wrestling singles here and there to kind of mix it up a little bit. I don't mind getting Big Cass some exposure and working on himself as a singles guy because, let me be honest with you, Big Cass is going to be a singles guy, but not now. He's nowhere near ready. Their main priority right now should be building Enzo and Cass as a tag team. Coming out of SummerSlam, Big Cass and Enzo were going up against Owens and Jericho. Seems like most of the feuds coming out of SummerSlam were one and done. And it proves to show you that I was right again. And I don't want to fucking stroke my own cock, but I told you guys there was literally no build going into SummerSlam. And the way that this show concluded and the way this show transpired tonight, a lot of these feuds aren't going to be revisited. There's no reason for Enzo and Cass to go against Jericho and Owens again. There's no reason. That match was thrown together to fill out a card for SummerSlam. There's no reason for it. Big Cass, I don't mind him being in the ring by himself, but his money is going to be with Enzo as a tag team. I don't understand why Rusev shouldn't be going up against somebody else as a credible challenger for this spot in the Fatal 4-Way. You could have put anybody in there. It could have been anybody. It could have been, I don't know. Who else is, I don't even think they have anybody else, to be quite honest with you. That's why they did it. But you guys get my point. I think Big Cass by himself is okay in small doses. Enzo and Cass together is what we want to see. It's taken them a little bit too long to get them thrusted into the tag team title picture. I understand, they're building up the club nicely. They got the New Day. The club came out and attacked the Dudley Boys, which we'll talk about in a second as well. The club is asserting their dominance on Monday Night Raw. Maybe with the pay-per-view coming up and the club, in my honest opinion, I think are going to win the tag team titles. I think Enzo and Cass are going to be moved in line to challenge the club. A hot babyface team against a hot heel team. I think that's what they're setting up for. So Rusev here loses. And by losing, I mean he was obviously injured because of Roman Reigns. What Roman Reigns did to him at SummerSlam, came out tonight with black tape around his ribs. His rib injury following that big spear during that SummerSlam altercation last night. And he lost via countout because, whatever the case may be, he didn't give a fuck about competing for the Universal Championship, which is stupid to me. I mean, if Rusev, and I'm just thinking logically here, if Rusev is the United States champion, and you have an opportunity to beat Big Cass, and you're the Bulgarian Brute, and you're the fucking greatest United States champion of the modern era, according to Rusev, right? Why would you get yourself counted out blatantly for a shot to fight for the I keep saying the United States Championship, the Universal Championship. I don't understand that. So Rusev doesn't think the Universal Championship is important to him? So if Rusev doesn't think the Universal Championship is important to him, why am I going to think the Universal Championship is important? Because if Rusev says, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to get counted out, I don't give a fuck. Okay, it's not important then. You don't need it. You don't want it. Whatever the case may be, he'd rather be United States Champion. Who the fuck blames him? I'd rather carry the United States Championship around than that fucking monstrosity of a fucking nightmare. The Universal Championship. You know, all red everything. I gotta have a constant reminder that Eve Marie is still on the roster as I drape that motherfucker over my shoulder. Who the fuck wants that vision in your head? Nobody. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Rusev gets counted out, and I have a feeling Rusev is going to play a very vital role next week in this Fatal 4-Way. Big Cass goes on. It's something different. Does he deserve it? No. Do I think Big Cass belongs in the ring with Rollins, Owens, and Reigns? No, not at all. But it's something different, and I commend WWE for trying something different here. Big Cass wins by count at 8 minutes and 23 seconds. Some of the best stuff on WWE as of late is the interactions with Owens, Jericho, and Tom Phillips. They call him every other fucking name under the sun but his actual name. Felipe, Steven, Mark, Brett, whatever the case may be, man. They call him everything but his actual fucking name. So Jericho is in the main event against Roman Reigns, and whatever they did backstage with Tom Phillips was probably one of the most entertaining things on this entire 3-hour show. Something that we've been waiting for months, years, finally happened tonight on Monday Night Raw. Bayley makes her main roster debut. Everybody kind of felt it in the air tonight before the show took place. Everybody was holding hugger section signs, so that was an immediate fucking red light. You know what? Maybe we should start thinking Bayley's coming out here. And that's exactly what she did. Charlotte, I will say this about Charlotte. She won the women's title back, okay? The reason why Charlotte won the women's championship back is because Sasha Banks, she's not hurt, but she has a few nagging injuries that aren't allowing her to excel at the pace and the level that she needs to excel at. So WWE granted her 30 days off. She's going to recuperate. She's going to rest up. She's going to come back 100%. She's been taken off tour for the next 33 days. She's going to rest up. And it goes to show you that WWE only did the title change on that first Raw of the new era to pop one of those moments as if anything can happen. They needed a big moment, and that's exactly what they did. They used, and I don't necessarily agree with this, they used the Women's Championship and Sasha Banks merely as a transitional champion, only to give it back to Charlotte, to pop a big moment on Monday Night Raw. I think Sasha Banks is worth more than that, and I hope she gets right back into the game, into the swing of things, and we eventually see Sasha Banks fighting for that Women's Championship again. And now with Bayley on the roster, one of my matches that I've been talking about that I definitely want to have happen at WrestleMania 33 next year, Bayley versus Sasha for the Women's Championship. I think that is where WWE's money is. I think that's where they need to go. Charlotte comes out as a 2-time Women's Champion. She is fucking great on the mic. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't give a shit what you thought of her in the past. The way she's matured as a main roster talent for the women's division is great. She's great on the microphone. She has a great fucking presence. She carries herself well. She can speak very well. The way she speaks makes you listen to her. She makes you believe in what she's saying. And I'm all for that, man. Charlotte is absolutely great at what she does. She says she's the most athletic, dominant female on the planet. You can't really argue that, man. Charlotte is doing her thing right now. So she comes out and she's saying, you know what, Sasha Banks is done. She pretty much is a failure. She let New York City down. Mick Foley comes out and says that, you know what, Charlotte's praising herself a lot. I'm going to do it as well. I'm going to praise you. You had a great match, and you're the 2-time Women's Champion. But Mick says Sasha will be back, and she will get a rematch upon return for the Women's Championship. But that's fine with Charlotte, you know. And she continues to say, there's nobody else on the roster to face me. We didn't see Nia Jax tonight, by the way. Very disappointed in that. I think that makes 2 weeks now we didn't see Nia Jax. She didn't have a match at SummerSlam, and I don't know what's going on with that, man, but we need to start seeing Nia Jax on our televisions. We got to, see her in a dominant role, and I want that figure to be there in the back of our minds. Listen, Nia Jax is waiting in the wings, man. I want to see some Nia Jax. Mick Foley comes out, says Sasha Banks will get a rematch for the title, but tonight you are going to be introduced to the new hottest free agent signee to Monday Night Raw. Obviously, the crowd went fucking crazy. Bayley is here with the fucking floating tube men in the back. It's fucking awesome. I love me some Bayley. Everybody loves me some Bayley. She hugs Mick Foley. The deal is done. Dana Brooke versus Bayley tonight in Bayley's debut on Monday Night Raw. Easy victory for Bayley. Dana Brooke did not look that bad tonight. There was one instance in where Bayley took Dana Brooke's head and started smashing her head against the turnbuckle, which was absolutely fucking cringeworthy. I'm not sure if you guys seen that. The way Dana Brooke was overselling the fucking headshots to the turnbuckle made me roll my eyes and turn my head away from the television, man. It was absolutely fucking cringe. Other than that, she didn't look good. She didn't look bad. She looked pretty decent tonight. 4 minutes and 32 seconds. The Bayley to belly for the win there for Bayley. Can't wait to see Bayley on the main roster on Raw in the women's division. Automatically creates intrigue. It creates excitement. Good move by WWE here. After that great match with Asuka and the send-off that she got, it was only a matter of time. After that send-off and as she walked up the ramp during NXT TakeOver, you kind of knew this is the night. This is the night. Bayley's here. Bayley's here to stay. Congratulations to her. She's on the main roster. Going to make the entire division even that much more better. Cruiserweights arrive September 19th. Can't wait for the finals on September 14th on the WWE Network. Braun Strowman versus Johnny Knockout. Sounds like somebody in a fucking Final Fight game or a Street Fighter game. Johnny Knockout. Is he wrestling fucking Scorpio or Scorpion or fucking Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat? Should we get fucking Shang Tsung to steal his soul? Johnny Knockout? Please, what's his fucking fatality? Wasn't showcased here. Braun Strowman. 1 minute and 19 seconds. There was a fucking let's go jobber chant as Braun Strowman was fucking destroying this guy. God, man, you gotta love fucking New York, man. I'm a fucking goon, by the way. Scorpio, Too Cold Scorpio. Jesus Christ, man. I'm fucking exhausted, dude. I've had literally, I think I've had maybe a total of 7 hours of sleep in the last 48 hours, in the last 2 days. I'm fucking dead to the world, man. I want to get a good night's sleep after this review and give you guys the videos that you want tomorrow, man, and for the rest of the week. So hopefully we get some rest tonight after this review. Roman Reigns versus Chris Jericho. That's the main event. But before that, I'm jumping ahead here like a fucking clown. Dudley Boys come out for their retirement speech. Bubba says, and everybody knew going into this, they kind of felt that this was going to be a swerve and that Bubba was going to turn on Devon. Nothing like that happened here, surprisingly. Bubba says that they returned a year ago in this ring, in this arena, in this city. And they've had some wins and they've had some losses. Things are changing. Devon says it's been a great career. They've had some great matches with Edge and Christian. And I swear to fucking God, I smiled from ear to ear when Devon mentioned Edge and Christian. And then I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and he says the Hardys. And I swear to God, man, this is great. It shows you how fucking great Matt Hardy is and what he's done to get over with that fucking gimmick. I'm telling you right now, man, if Matt Hardy is not in WWE in 2017 with this gimmick, I will be disappointed. Soon as Devon said the Hardys, everybody in the crowd, 15,000 plus, started to chant delete. And they did delete, delete, delete with the hand motion. It was fucking amazing. That was probably the fucking highlight of the show for me. Just watching that. A huge fucking delete chant in Brooklyn for Matt Hardy. If that gimmick is not over as fuck, I don't know what else is, dude. Holy shit. Congratulations on Matt Hardy, man. You got fucking 16,000 people chanting delete on Monday Night Raw because of your gimmick. Listen, it's over. It's a success. Good on him, man. He struck gold with that motherfucker. Bubba says the fans, give themselves a round of applause because they are the ones who have treated the Dudleys so well over 20 years. And out of nowhere, the fucking the travel agents, Shining Stars, come out. They get their fucking ass kicked. They bought them economy tickets to Puerto Rico. They're like, the food is great. The lodgings are great. The beaches are great. They mentioned the women, but they went back to, the food is great. I guess Bubba Ray don't like him any Puerto Rican women, huh? According to the Shining Losers, but whatever the case may be, these guys get their ass kicked. After that, Bubba's setting up a table in the ring with Devon. Out of the crowd comes the club. You got Gallows and Anderson. They destroy Devon and Bubba Ray. Magic Killer to Devon through the table. Nice segment here. I don't think this is the end of the Dudleys. I think we see them a little bit to the point where they get their match and their revenge, or try at least to get their revenge against the club, Gallows and Anderson. And I think that's when we see Bubba Ray say, you know what, I'm not going anywhere. The Dudleys are dead, but Bully Ray's coming back. Hopefully that's where we go with that, because I think WWE could certainly use Bubba Ray in a singles role, being that he was so great with it on TNA and in Impact Wrestling. I think that's the way they should go with that. I'm hoping for that, but I can't really tell right now. But all in all, pretty decent segment. There's nobody in the WWE that can get a fucking New York City crowd rowdied up like the Dudleys, man. Fucking awesome stuff right there. Roman Reigns versus Chris Jericho was the main event of this show. I will say this, it was a little underwhelming going in, but the last, I'd say, 3 to 4 minutes, as soon as Kevin Owens made his interference and his presence known in this match, it really kicked it up a notch, and I was really, really pleased with the ending. They made you believe there that Jericho was possibly going to win this thing, and I honestly thought for a split second, now call me a goon, but I honestly thought when Jericho had the lion tamer on him, or the walls of Jericho, lion tamer, old school, you know. Me and my brother always talk about when Jericho puts the walls, I'm like, that's not the fucking walls. The fucking walls is the old school lion tamer, man, where he fucking leans back and the point of his knee is in fucking right here in the guy's neck. That's just a modified Boston Crab. That's not the fucking walls of Jericho. But I honestly thought Roman Reigns was going to tap out to the walls of Jericho. And then obviously Superman comes to life. He fucking powers up, moves to the rope. And with Kevin Owens there, I honestly thought even after that, Jericho was going to win this match. But it was, I believe, a code breaker, which could have been the deal. Could have sealed the deal with that code breaker. He took a little bit too long to fucking climb on top of him for the pin. And I don't understand why Jericho's like, oh my God, I just hit a fucking code breaker. My initial thought would be like, let me fucking cover this guy for the win. I don't know what the fuck he was taking so long for. But it was, in the end, Owens super kicking him to set up a code breaker. That was that sequence. Back up, they trade slaps. Jericho's fucking bitch slapping him left and right. And then, obviously, Roman Reigns is getting infuriated. And it pretty much ends in a spear. That's it. Ends in a spear. Back up, they trade slaps until Owens is punched off the apron. He jumps on the apron. Superman punch to Owens. Jericho spinning around like a fucking clown in the ring. Eats a spear at 15 minutes and 3 seconds. Roman Reigns wins. He becomes the fourth and final guy in the Fatal 4-Way. So you got Rollins, you got Owens, you got Cass, and you got Roman Reigns. What I think is going to happen here, and I'm just going to drop an opinion here before I get the hell out of here. I honestly think it's going to be either Seth Rollins or Kevin Owens. I would like it to be Kevin Owens, but I think it's going to be Seth Rollins. I don't think it's going to be Roman Reigns. I think Rusev is going to pretty much tie up loose ends. He is hurt. According to storyline, he is injured. And he's going to seek revenge, and he's going to take out his frustrations about not being able to compete fully like the Bulgarian Brute and beat Cass because he was too hurt. He was hurt, and that's the reason I'm going with about him not wanting to continue that match. He was hurt. So Rusev was hurt. Roman is the one who hurt him. I think Rusev is going to be the one to hurt Roman next week. I think Rusev's going to fuck over Roman Reigns. We're going to get a United States Championship rematch at the Clash of the Champions pay-per-view. I honestly think Seth Rollins or Kevin Owens is walking out as the new Universal Champion. All in all, it was a very enjoyable edition of Monday Night Raw. The New York City crowd was fucking great. Wasn't the greatest show ever, but I'm very pleased with the story progression here coming out of SummerSlam. I could have expected maybe another surprise or two. We didn't see nothing about, a Brock Lesnar from SummerSlam and continuing with that. I don't know where they're going with that. I'll discuss that as well this week. We didn't see nothing about Bill Goldberg. There was rumors about maybe Bill Goldberg being at SummerSlam this weekend at the pay-per-view or maybe on Monday Night Raw. Nothing happened. The only surprise that we really got this week was Bayley. But I think Bayley was good enough. It's a new addition to the roster, and obviously with the newsworthy mention of Finn Balor relinquishing the Universal Championship. All in all, it was a newsworthy show of Monday Night Raw. Very enjoyable. The crowd was great all weekend, except for SummerSlam. There was some down moments of that pay-per-view that really made me shake my head, man. Like I said, we'll discuss that on the pay-per-view review tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit late. I don't know how well it's going to do on the YouTube side of things with views and likes, but if you guys want it, I'm definitely going to be giving it to you tomorrow, SummerSlam review, so make sure you guys tune into that, as well as WWE 2K17 roster reveal week number 4, and then Smackdown, as always, live tomorrow night with the review, man. I'm JD. Hope you guys enjoyed the Raw review. Until then, take care. I'm going to rest, relax, get some fucking sleep, and recuperate. Be ready for tomorrow to give you guys all the videos you guys want. Until then, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you guys check the description down below for everything that you missed this weekend. Go check out the iTunes podcast as well, live right now. And I'm getting out of here, man. I'm JD. Thank you for everything all weekend. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the SummerSlam review and SmackDown Live. Talk to you later.